So we need a secret word.
Yeah, maybe shadow casting or.
How about?
Yeah, that'd be good too. What do you think there, Ed?
I mean, I love.
Okay, then that's it. First
Sweet.
5 people
Nice.
said to me will get an envelope of stickers from Canadian Trout Bum. I'll make that
Nice.
happen on my end. Yeah.
Welcome to Guys Fishing Weekly. We don't just fish, we hook.
Hey, buddy.
Eddie.
How are you, man?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
I've got a little cold, so you're gonna have to bear with me today.
That's awesome, dude. That's no big deal. Hey, who we got on the show today?
Well, before we do that, today's show is sponsored by Trout Routes. Winter trout fishing can be a challenge, but it's also one of the most rewarding seasons to be on the water. To make the most of it, you need the right tools, and that's where Trout Routes Pro comes in. With satellite imagery and detailed maps of over 50,000 trout streams, you can scout winter-friendly spots like deep pools, tailwaters, and areas that stay ice-free. Planning your trip is easier than ever with over 350,000 access points mapped, plus custom markers that let you track your favorite winter runs or places to warm up. You can even check stream flows and water temperatures to ensure you're fishing in the most productive conditions. Winter fishing is about precision and preparation. Let Trout Routes Pro be your guide to finding the perfect stretch of water this season. Podcast listeners can save 20% on their first year of Trout Routes Pro by using code WEEKEND2025 at maps.troutroutes.com. That's 20% off your first year of Trout Routes Pro by using code WEEKEND2025 at maps.troutroutes.com. Today on the show, we talk with Thomas Watts, the content creator known as the Canadian Trout Bum.
Nice. Good conversation with Thomas. He's an authentic guy.
He is. On the show, we talk about topics including men's mental health, the ultimate fly tying man caves, getting your laughs per day in, and father and son fishing trips.
Let's do it, dude.
Hey, Thomas, how are you?
Oh, hi, guys. Ed and Reid, it is nice to see you.
Thomas, where do we find you in that crazy cool room of yours?
I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
And give me like what's winter fishing like where you are?
Well, for me, it's non-existent. I'm 55, and I just don't want to go outside in the cold even to check the mail, right? Like, it's, in the mornings, it's like minus 25, minus 29, and like, no. So everything's frozen. There's not even slush, like the previous guy that said there was some slush by the Great Lakes there. Dude, there's not even slush.
Boy. Oh, boy. Right. So there's no fishing to you so no fishing until when? When do you officially get to go out and go to hit a river and chuck a fly?
Probably May and end of April.
Wow.
In May. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then I have to, for trout, funny enough, right? Canadian Trout Bum. For trout, I have to drive for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then it's just stocked lakes. And there's one lake in particular that's a biatch to get down to, carrying a float tube because you can't fish from shore because it's just overrun with trees and stuff. And it's just stocked with brook trout. And I'm addicted to it. Like if I had a choice between catching rainbows or brook trouts or browns, I'm going to go brook trout every time, and then browns, and then rainbows be way down at the bottom. Yeah,
You found your people.
You have found your people. You really have.
Really?
You are part of our tribe. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All hail the
we would prefer to chase. We prefer to chase brookies all day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they're absolutely. I've got well, you probably saw some of my posts. I got there's a Real Trout Studio, I think is his name of his company is, on Instagram, and he does art. You can probably see the trout up here. I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canadian Trout Bum. He also made it's a sculpture. I don't want to touch it because it was delicate, but he does like competitive wood sculpture. So it's all handmade. He put each scale on it. It's an amazing piece of work. And everything with me is, brook trout. Like even down my living room, I got great big panels of brook trout, and
Nice.
Does your wife like that? Because Reid's wife won't let him put up any fish pictures at all. Anyway.
No, she enjoys it. She says she does, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Whatever.
Happy husband, happy life. That's what they all say, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's just, she's a good woman.
That's not the philosophy in my house.
Oh, no.
No, it is.
But so there's no, are you able to fish for bass or other animals nearby, or is it all just...
Well, bass season opens in the end of June, I think June 21st in my area.
Okay.
So there's not really a lot going on until like May, June sort of thing. So it's really slow. Of course, I never keep anything. Like everything is released. It's all barbless hooks and whatever the hell it is. And, if I want fish, I'll go to the grocery store and buy some, but
right.
There's always a guy you see on the shore with a big garbage bag of fish. And I'm like, really?
Come on, dude. Come on, man.
Even bass in the summer. And I know it's illegal. They shouldn't be taking as many as they do. And I'm like, oh, disgusting.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background on yourself and how you got into fishing?
Well, I think Brad Pitt is to blame from that movie,
Sure.
With
for
his,
many. Yes.
Yeah. His shadow casting bullshit. It's not real, Brad. It's not real.
We're on to you, bro. We know.
We're on to you. So shadow casting. No, I watched that and I was really inspired. I thought it was, it was just absolutely beautiful cinematography for one. And the story, was good and all. But I find now that, on my personal copy, I'll just fast forward to the fishing parts. Cool. He's going down a river with his hat, and some potato bug thing he's throwing, But that's what got me into it. My first fly rod, and I didn't know what I was doing, of course, just because there's no YouTube at that point. And I went to Sears when there was a Sears in Canada still. It hasn't been on here for years now. And I picked up a Daiwa fly reel, silver, and a Daiwa rod, and some fly line. And the fly line didn't even have like a taper. It's like running lines. It wasn't even like casting line sort of thing. Anyway, I used it, and I didn't tie flies or anything. And I got some flies from Canadian Tire, and some dry flies and stuff. And there's a little trout and stuff that the ministry would stock in Lake Ontario, because I was born and raised around Lake Erie and Lake Ontario before I moved up to Ottawa later when I got married. And I got into that and I really enjoyed it. And then I got married, then, kind of dropped it off until I got divorced and found happiness again and got back into fly fishing and took up fly tying and here we are.
Here we are.
I'm always amazed by our guests who just go out and buy a rod and a reel with no instruction and just battle through it. I can't. When I get skunked on the river, I do get really bummed, and so I can't even imagine just like going out and just sucking for years at a time before I just.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine? No YouTube to even learn how to cast.
I know. It's amazing. It's shocking.
You just go beat the water. Just go pound it into submission until you figure out how to. Yeah, you fucking untangle knots. You untangle snags. You're just like. Yeah, you look like a dipshit out on the water. You never had to experience that. Yeah, you benefited from
If I didn't have Reid or others to teach me how to fish, I don't know if I could have persevered.
You are spoiled in this day and age.
I am. I'm not denying it. I'm just always amazed that people say, "Oh, I went to Walmart and picked up a reel and I just started, flailing about because I saw Brad Pitt do it."
Yeah, sad. Impressive. I've never told him that story.
I think it's impressive. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, we're gonna hold it over your head forever.
That's right, man. Yep.
Yeah. So, I caught fish, believe it or not, because it's basically, you can catch a bass or a trout or anything on basically a stick with a piece of line, right? Like it's not that hard. It's not the gear. Even though I've got like super fancy, expensive gear in this room, it's none of it's needed. You could catch the same thing with a stick with a piece of line to it, Tenkara or whatever they pronounce it.
Yeah.
Those guys show it all the time, right? And I tease them because we're supposed to. It's the law. Right?
It's the law.
But yeah, you can catch a fish on anything. So
yeah, it's good. And so tell me a little bit about your son. You got him into fishing, yeah? As a dad, that's got to be pretty cool. My kids have not taken to it yet, none of them. And so, yeah, tell me about that a little bit because that's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, so
I'm
Sam,
jealous.
he's 16, I guess, and he. But even at a young age, I take him fishing all the time, but I couldn't fish with him because you had to keep an eye on him when he was really young, right? Like he was, 7, 8, 9. I always took him out fishing, and he always fished with spinning reel and stuff, and because they have a short attention span. So I take him to places where you catch sunfish and perch and little bass and whatever, just to keep his brain going, right? And then if it gets slow, then he's chasing grasshoppers or frogs or butterflies or something, looking for fossils. It's kids, right?
Right.
But as he got older, and I said, "Well, I'm going fishing," and he says, "Well, I'll bring my spin rod." I'm like, "No, you're not spin rod fishing with me." I said, I'll get you all the fly gear. You come fly fishing with me. You're not going to embarrass me with a spin rod while I'm fly fishing. So eventually he broke down and he agreed to it. And I got him an Orvis reel and better than I had when I first started, and Orvis rod, and he's all set. And got him all the
spoiled
Sims
him.
gear. So
that's what you did.
Like,
you spoiled him, just like Ed.
Spoiled him because I never had any of that when I was growing up. Like, we were dirt poor. My dad used to lower us on ropes into garbage bins and look for expired food or anything we could sell. Like, we were very poor growing up. So my kids, I mean, they, anything, right? Like, fly fishing?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go all out, right? So he's all set, and we got him fishing for bass and stuff. And then just a couple of years ago, took him out to BC and just for fly fishing. No women allowed. I know there's women fly fishers. No offense, but it's just guys. Like dad and son, and rented a car and drove from Calgary, from the airport there, to Fernie, British Columbia, and I got in touch with the different fly shops out there, and an Instagram person that I had followed, Cam, and we got together, and he was a guide, and he gave some tips to my son how to catch trout. And Sam caught his first trout on a fly rod, which is cool.
Nice.
Nice. Back in Ottawa, we'd go to the Mississippi River, and he'd catch his first bass on a fly rod. So the kids had some really good experiences, and it's been humbling for me to see my son do something like that at a young age, and to it's not just the experience for him that, giving him memories, of course, which is important.
Right.
But damn it, I'm getting some memories too, and it's some good things, some pleasant, things to reflect back on, So
it's awesome.
I'm the cool dad, right?
Right. Yeah. At least when you go fishing. Yeah.
I go fishing anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Probably my kids would tell you, I fucked them up at some point. When I took them when they were little, they'd start clowning around. I'd be like, "Shh, you're gonna scare the fish. Like, be quiet." I was probably that guy. But Ed talks. Ed's dad and I are good friends, and that was always a big deal when Joe would take Ed fishing, and I know that was a real good bonding time for them. And I've always been envious of that because my kids just never took to it. But that's been a real special thing for those guys. And so who knows? Maybe I'll get it when they're older or whatever. But yeah, it sure is cool. I'm always envious of those kinds of things, those kinds of relationships and trips.
The beauty of it for me, and I'm sure your son probably feels the same way, is there's some sort of like a coming of age type of adventure in that trip that you just mentioned. Driving across with your pops, and he shows you the ropes and doing man stuff like you just said. That
the
type
mountains, and it's an adventure. Yeah,
right. And I think, one of the things that we always talk about at Guys Fishing Weekend is we don't have a lot of those spaces anymore that do work as that kind of initiation into manhood in a way. And
they're important.
Guys, right. And so having a Guys Fishing Weekend, like for me, I wasn't allowed to go until I was 18, and that was kind of like the signal that I had come up into the world. And so it was cool for me. And I think we as men need to bring others with us to help initiate them as well, whether they want it or not.
Right.
Well, in positive things, to raise positive, respectful young men sort of thing. So they see that, not all men are, these horrible monsters, but, we got some depth, and we believe what's right and what's wrong, and yeah, you got to give them that baseline as a dad, right? Your daughter too.
For sure.
I mean,
For sure.
But for sure, that's so true. I've noticed that a lot of your posts, you have a big Instagram. You're on that, and I've noticed that a lot of your posts are about. You have some inspirational stuff on there and some personal growth stuff on there,
right?
And that aligns a lot with GFW and what kind of like what we're talking about, teaching young people that, but also but us as men and that kind of thing. How'd you come to the understanding of these tenets, if you will, those important values for you in your life? How did that come about for you?
I think a lot of suffering and just living sort of thing. I think that the rockier road you have sort of thing, the more interesting journey that you had. And you learn from that, I think, or you die. I chose to live. But I mean, it's I struggle with mental illness, I guess, still somewhat of a stigma, I guess, attached to it. But I have PTSD and a horrific childhood, and I can't fix the past, but the perspective is to move forward and become better.
Right.
So I'm always trying to improve myself. And one of the things my wife, I just married in September there, she says is what she liked about me when she was dating me was that I had a lot of depth and a lot of character. Wasn't your typical guy sort of thing, and emotional intelligence. That's what she said.
Right.
And I thought it was a very flattering thing to say to somebody. And I just think that what inspires me might inspire others and help them also. And it's a good reminder when I go back through my Instagram post, look back on those and just to kind of encourage you and chin up and keep going. I mean, this day and age, there's so much going on, political and social and, all this upheaval and at one point I even turned my Instagram off at one point because I was so depressed because my brother had passed April 13th and I didn't think it would bother me, but it dragged on for a long time. Like I wasn't close to him, unfortunately, but because he was a different character than I was, but and I didn't think it would bother me, but it did.
Yeah.
It's not like I cried or anything like that. I just fell in this huge depression sort of thing. And I found putting posts about inspirational words, and I like to write poetry and stuff. For those out there that have seen my Brook Trout poem and different poems I like to write, and I think it's good to express yourself. It's as a man, it's kind of hard to do that because there's always this stigma. Like when you're around guys, and if you're sensitive or you're in touch with your emotions, whatever they, oh, what are you gay or something? Like, cause that's what straight white guys do, right? They're awful to each other,
For sure.
right? No homo, and I'm like, okay, all right, I get it, guys. Like, sorry for being human, right? So, I think it's a struggle that all men go through, and I'm always. I'm a bit autistic, so I'm a bit awkward, and I have this over compensating, like almost like guilt. But I always want things to be just, and I want always right and good to prevail, sort of thing. And I love helping others. So I think from having a rough path through life sort of thing. I think my posts reflect that, showing inspiration, hopefully, to help somebody else, not just me.
Yeah, it is. And I think, it is incredibly inspirational for people who follow you and see your stuff. It's really good. And I think there's a lot of value in what you're talking about with emotional intelligence. And I wish, and we kind of talked beforehand about, the need for more people to be emotionally intelligent, I think, in the world, especially with all that's happening and everything. But I think it's really awesome that you have found ways to channel that and kind of, be creative, and through your creative background, do some of the, be able to use that for value and to help yourself through some of those times too. I think that's a really cool way to model that. Being a teacher, that was, the buzzword for so long was, well, how are you modeling that in the classroom? I think you're doing a phenomenal job of modeling emotional intelligence in a lot of ways. And I appreciate that. I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's hard being a guy and I get it, being a guy and showing that you're more than, a Viking smashing an axe against a rock. Right. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
So, so if they can see this, this big burly guy on Instagram writing poetry or putting, uplifting commentary on his post to inspire people to be better and and stuff, then it feels good. You're helping even just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
People need to put more positive in the world and less negative.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
So
just disregard that I suck at fly tying back there, because you embracing our suck is good too, right? We got to be able to do that. That's emotional. Tell us the story behind it.
Okay, so
because that really resonates with me. Like I texted Ed last night. I'm like, dude, I tied 4 Adams flies in less than 40 minutes. I suck at it. I'm like really slow at fly tying.
Well, I'm very slow at too. But so I was, he blocked me since. So a little bit of drama here. The huge fly fisherman guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was making, he made these stickers, I suck at fly fishing and, whatever, I'm a huge fly fisherman, whatever. And I encouraged him. I even created the artwork and sent it to him. I said, make this sticker because, it resonates. It's part of your brand and you should do this. No, I got enough going on right now. And yeah, it's cool and all, but I'm not really interested in doing it. And I said, well, can I do it? Sure. I said, okay. Are you sure about so he goes, have at it. Make $1 million, enjoy it. I'm like, okay. So, I didn't make any money with it, but, so I, had the stickers printed and they're made into cups and shirts and all sorts of stuff through Fly Life Company that I deal with here in Ontario. And it was a big hit. And people say, "Oh, you're stealing from him." So I had to actually have Ben from Huge Fly Fisherman. I'd tag him in the post, and I said, "You said this was okay," and all. And he goes, "Yeah." And he would explain it to people again, because people are just like, "Oh, you're stealing." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Like, he told me to do this." So, and then I think because I put some racy stickers up, and sometimes my rants on some posts on Instagram are a bit edgy, edgelord sort of thing. So I think he blocked me for that, but I'm not sure. But oh well, I can't control what other people do. Some of the stuff, like some of the stickers I created were like, keep them wet. Yeah. Love is love. Right. Stuff like that would offend people. So, but I think you should be able to laugh when you're either tying a fly or catching a fish or whatever. Like, life's not so serious. We all die. So
that's right. Oh, that's good.
You definitely have to laugh a little. Reid always tells me to get my laughs per day. My laugh per day count up.
LPDs. Yep. LPDs got to be up there.
So, I'm always cracking jokes and laughing because you know what? It's good for your brain. It's good for your digestive system. And I think it just makes you healthier if you laugh more.
Absolutely. 100%. We're in agreement there. So you create, you're a content creator, you're making stickers, you're writing poetry. has the creative thing always been there for you? Like, talk about your creativity a little bit as a guy who struggles with that. I'm like the antithesis of creative. I'm going to beat myself up.
Why are you being hard on yourself like that?
I don't know.
He does this to himself and tells it. We're all creative, Reid.
Everybody's creative. Everybody's got a set of gifts, and you just need to find out what they are and practice them and hone them, I guess.
I think I'm really good at making fun of my students. I'm creative in that way. I come up with some pretty good stuff for them.
See?
When I was younger, I used to draw a lot, and I was really good at it. So I was told. I haven't drawn in years in that way with a pencil and stuff. So I always liked art a lot growing up, but I was also drawn to the technology side. When I saved up some monies from cutting grass and shoveling snow, and I bought computers and started learning how to code and stuff. And I mean, I was on Telnet before it was the internet at age of 12 with a modem.
Oh, wow.
And and I was using old Hayes commands like ATA and doing all this sort of stuff, and bulletin board systems too, way back, and programming at the age of 12. And I did that all the way through my adolescence and stuff. And but I also did the art too. But I was focusing more on the high tech, and today I work for a company that does software for security clearance software and stuff for major NATO and the U.S. Army and German Army and stuff like that, and that's my day-to-day job. But I've always loved writing poetry also. I never had much luck in love growing up. But I like to write about it. And then when I discovered the brook trout, I found my true love was the brook trout.
Yes,
and I love writing about brook trout. Yeah.
That's so good.
Is coding and poetry, are they similar at all, or are they just complete opposites?
Just complete opposites.
Okay.
I blame my brain being wired differently to do both sides sort of thing. So it's you try to read poetry to a bunch of nerds at work and they think you're insane, right?
Well, imagine getting up at an open mic night and reading some code. I mean, that would be
well, that's just it, right? They're two different worlds, and so here's something interesting. So the logo, Canadian Trout Bum, originally it was the Ottawa Trout Bum, and I had the Canadian flag on there and stuff like that. But before it was the Ottawa Trout Bum, I did a logo for the Ottawa Fly Fisher Society, which is a fly fishing community thing here in Ottawa. And I was part of that group years back. And I still reach out to them here and there, sort of thing, to help them or whatever. And so I created the logo for them. I said, here's the logo, it's blah, blah, blah. It was different colors and stuff, and matched the colors and their wording and everything else. And it took them about a year, and they decided they didn't want to go with it. I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do with this, this art? And I thought, maybe I'll just make it for myself, the Ottawa Trout Bum, and so I did that. And then somebody says, why don't you just make it all of Canada? I was like, that's a pretty good idea. So I went Canadian Trout Bum, right? And modified it a little bit more, and now it's at its final thing, of Canadian Trout Bum, and people seem to like the logo, and it's very standoutish on things, and so I was before I moved to Ottawa from Niagara, where I grew up. I was into graphic design and stuff like that, and I'd worked for a publishing house that was out there, and I got my name in a couple books and stuff like that, and I was also like a system. I'd set up the intranet, not internet, but intranet, internally, like email servers and all that sort of stuff. And so I picked up all the graphic experience growing up, along with all the other computer stuff. So it's kind of like a culmination now, where I can use all these experiences, because that's what life's all about, right? It's your journey,
Mhm.
gathering things up. Everybody starts like a jar. And as you interact with different people, get different things added to different skills or different, you know, uh, different skills and stuff in the jar and interests and stuff. And so now, I leverage my past of graphic design to create stickers and art and stuff. And I've created logos for different companies on Instagram, like, fly tying guys and stuff like that.
Right.
And stickers, of course, which are huge. And so
That's
it's,
awesome.
it's funny.
You have some of the best stickers. We love them, and I know you sent us some a while back as a gift, and they made us both
cool.
chuckle, and
Yeah.
they're really cool stuff. So
Well, I'd
Yeah,
like
we
to
like
send
the
you
edgy
some
one.
more. So I'll have to send me your addresses again.
okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
How much of that creativity in the graphic design and computer world has spilled into your fly tying? Do you sit down and do you create your own patterns in fly tying, or do you like do other stuff? Because that's a foreign concept to me.
I just tie whatever feels right. So sometimes it's not even based on a pattern. It's just like, for example, I recently tied this.
Chuck some deer hair on a hook and go.
Yeah. Well, I like the Prince Nymph, right? And I don't fish anything other than dries usually, but I do like the look of the Prince Nymph. And I mean, I fished it, but it's not something I go to fly. But I love the way the back is on it, where they take the the pheasant tail, and they create that that back. So I created a woolly bugger that had that back like the Prince Nymph. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
and then
pretty
I,
cool.
kind of gave it legs, sort of thing. So when this thing sits, it's kind of fun. It sits like almost like a crayfish.
Right.
So it's the head
Right.
goes down and it goes up, and then you can see the longer feathers I put on there. So it almost looks like claws. So it's always creative to create something new and interesting, right?
Right.
It's the stimmy bugger.
Sure.
Ed's love of
Yeah, you said that you liked fishing dry flies, and I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you like dries too, eh? It's all about
That's all I like.
That's funny.
It's made of coyote hair.
Is that the Wile E. Coyote one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good. It's like take it back to the Roadrunner days when cartoons were awesome.
It's fun just sitting in this room and listening, to don't know if you can hear the birds or whatever in the background.
Yes. Yeah.
And it feels like you're in a cabin in a micro vacation. And I got a really cool shit in this room. I spent way too much money on stuff, but I really enjoy it because it's like a micro vacation. And so I come in here and hide away from all my troubles, have the birds singing, and tie some ugly flies because I suck at fly tying, right?
How did that room come to be? It's because it's one of the coolest fly tying rooms I think I've seen on Instagram for sure.
For sure.
Thank you. I was on Pinterest. I don't know a long time ago, and I seen these.
Don't lie. You were on Pinterest today.
A long time ago, and this picture came up on my screen, and it was this rustic cabin sort of thing. And this guy had taken his basement, and he'd put like a stone fireplace in there. And but it wasn't a real fireplace, of course, but he just had like the fake fire, and he built, stone and stuff and fake stuff but fake timber and stuff. And he put fake beams across the top. And this guy went all out. And I'm like, that is really freaking cool. I'd love to do that one day. Right. So then I started, you start buying a little piece here and a little piece there. And then eventually you start putting it together. And then, then you got this, you start collecting signs because you want to cover up the back. And it's like, signs would be cool. You get some fun ones. Like, like I had fly fishing cocaine bear made up. And I got, please don't feed the whores drugs. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Grizzly bear activity is high. Warning bear traps. There's all sorts of stuff up here. This one here, I don't know if you guys can see that in the video. Yeah. I think Parlin Lake Lodge. I got this on eBay, and it's an actual sign, like from way back, and from Maine, Jackman Station, Maine. And I took this art and like the shape and the colors sort of thing, and I removed all the text and I put new text on it. And I created I love the sticker, and it's based on a vintage on the vintage sign, but it's been
That's
nice,
awesome.
different wording and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's totally cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so do you have any future plans for expanding this to an Airbnb that we can come visit, or what?
Can you imagine? I told the wife, I said, if you're ever mad at me and you don't want me to sleep in the same bed, I said, I can put a cot in this room. I can sleep here. I'd never leave, right? This is awesome. And I can't think of adding anything more, but if any listeners are seeing the video here, if you got ideas, I got the beer fridge. It's covered in stickers, and I got the fly tray with all the different flies and stuff in there, and rod racks and real things. And I'm always looking online because there's always somebody that has something that's like, dude, where did you get that? And it could be a mug, it could be a table, a desk, it could be anything, a tool. And I'm like, dang, I need that. Like, where did you find that?
Right.
I love unique things, right? Yeah. When I die, I can't take any of this stuff with me. So somebody's going to get it, not me. So
put us in your will. TFW will take care of it for you. And pass it on to Ed.
that or Sam will enjoy it.
Also, this desk is pretty unique. So, I sold my house back a couple years ago, and I wanted a really cool tabletop for my fly tying desk. So, I went online. I saw one in Turkey that I really liked, and then there was one in Toronto, and it was like half the price. And it's it's one piece of wood, 5 trees that grew together, right? And this is like the stump area of it. And they filled in any holes and stuff with epoxy, and it's all covered on top and everything. And this is really cool. So it's 5 trees, like a stump of 5 trees. That's, really organic, like a live edge.
Right.
So it's really cool. And it's one of my favorite things. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I blew through all that money from the house.
Right.
So since you don't have this as an Airbnb yet, if we were to come up and fish with you, which we will,
yes.
What would a trip with Thomas look like?
Oh, it's a lot of laughing, mostly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm super relaxed around people that I can actually vibe with. You guys seem pretty cool, or I wouldn't be on your podcast. This is actually the only podcast other than my own that I've been on. And the reason why is because you guys talk about mental health. And I think it's really important, not just for me, but everybody out there, because everybody's fucked up in a little bit. You are.
Right.
You are right there. that person there that's watching us on YouTube right now, you're all messed up in your head. And you need people like us, because we're messed up too. Right? Embrace your mental illness.
Right.
That's right.
Come to daddy.
That's right.
Come to daddy.
Come to daddy.
No, it's definitely an important aspect for sure. And I think a lot of people, as we've continued on with the podcast and talked with people, and just how much of a respite fly fishing gives people, and getting out into nature and finding that the world's a lot bigger than you helps a lot of people. So we hope to continue to share that with the world.
I'd rather fly fish and catch nothing all day. Just to be out there and, to practice my casting, to try to make it straight and as long and as far as I can go, and focusing on the line behind you and in front of you. And it's not even about fishing or catching fish, and I think the reason why I like dry fly fishing is because I can see the take, and it's just part of the experience. And, some people say, well, put a streamer on or something. Like, no, it's not the same thing. It's not, I don't get that adrenaline shot when I can actually see the take. It's like a little jaws attacking your little fly out there, your hopper, your foam hopper, let's say. And I like fishing that a lot. Sometimes I'll tie a fly on, leave it on all summer, and I'll just keep fishing that hopper all summer.
You and I are the ultimate fishing buddy. We both like dry flies. We both like brook trout. So Reid, sorry, buddy, you're out.
I'm out. I'll do anything. I'll try all different kinds of stuff.
When the brook trout aren't biting because it's too hot for them, the smallmouth are perfect because they jump right out of, especially river smallmouth. They jump right out of the river and they pull like a son of a gun. Yeah.
I'd be all in. I've never done smallmouth in a river. Would love to do that. There's some
Oh, we
spots
could do
where
that if you guys come up.
eyeball, and yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would
make it
love
happen.
that.
I know a place where you can catch a smallmouth on pretty much every cast, and there's smallmouth rivers and like smallmouth river, river smallmouths, and the ground is so easy to walk on this river. It's not moving very fast, and it's only up to your hips, but it's almost like a highway under the water there, where it's so clear. It's easy to walk on, like huge, flat, clear pieces of limestone that you walk on.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's
Sweet.
really. I used to have some videos up on Instagram. I don't know if I have it or not, but I take the GoPro and put it underwater and take pictures of the bass, and the water's so clear. Yeah, it's really nice.
When's the
That's
best
cool.
time to go? What time of year is the best
I
time
would
for
say-
that? Is that in summer?
I would say August when it's really hot, and it's so you're just in the water. You got a beer in your bag, sort of thing, and you're just kind of wandering through the river and casting, and it's just chill. At the end of the day, too, so you're not in the heat of the summer. It's like around 4 or 5 o'clock. Head out to the river, and it's nice.
That's awesome. That sounds great.
Well, it's been awesome. How about we wrap this up with the GFW hot seat?
Well, all right, let's do it.
You ready?
You ready?
No, but we'll do it.
All right.
They never are. Welcome to GFW Hot Seat, where the name of the game is to answer the questions. And the prizes are... Wait, who said we have prizes?
I got prices.
Sweet.
Perfect. Yes. What is one thing you're currently celebrating in life?
I think just waking up every day and still being here to be a good dad, and just trying to live the dream, I guess.
Nice.
Humble.
Good.
Yeah.
Give us one piece of content, book, video, TV series, whatever, that you would recommend to our listeners.
Besides your fascination with Brad Pitt. You're the first guest we've had to make that footnote on, apparently. So.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Brad Pitt. Fuck you, man. Lying bitch. No, probably a little indie film called A River Runs Through It. I don't know if you've ever heard of that movie. I'd recommend that.
It's
never heard of it. Oh.
Well, I mean, I got a lot of books that I really enjoy, and I think I don't have the two other ones here that I like so much, but I got these. The Fly Tires Bench Reference. They just remade a new revision to it, and the price came down. I was looking by on eBay or something. It was like $500, but now you can get it for like $50 or something. And so it's this it's a fly tying book with all the different. It's kind of nice, if the internet ever goes down, the apocalypse happens. You're gonna want something like this, right? That's offline. So there's that one, and then there's the beginners one, and this one is good too. This one actually has like the flip pages, so you can like interact sort of thing. So it's kind of like YouTube analog sort of thing. It's made by the same author.
Sweet.
Thanks. Same thingamajig there. So that's what I would probably recommend. And that indie film, River Runs Through It.
Right.
Indie film.
Indie film.
Yeah, indie film.
Always looking for a good indie film.
No, those would be super helpful for us.
Yeah. What is one of your favorite fishing memories?
It would be when I went to BC with my son a couple of years ago, to Fernie, British Columbia, and there were so many. The whole trip was very memorable. Everything from going into each fly shop and giving them a little cup and say, load up as many flies as you can fit there and still get the lid on, and I'll buy it for your fly box, and bought him a fly box too that he liked, and so and there's a lot of fly shops out there, Calgary all the way to thing, and he'd load it up every time. He looked forward to it. He'd mostly buy dries because that's what I push him to fish mostly, and but even for him catching his first trout, his first cutthroat in Fernie in the Elk River, and it was an amazing trip. It was just me and him, and the mountains, and it was awesome. We were able to connect in a way that it was really special. Really special.
That's great. That's good. I like that one.
Yeah.
You and I are in our mid to, we'll call it mid 50. Yeah, we'll call it mid 50s. I'm close enough. Shut up, Ed.
You can call it whatever you want, Reid. Go ahead and call it whatever you want.
What's one piece of advice you wish someone had given your 20-year-old self?
It just might be a shit if you fart too hard.
Never trust a fart.
Never trust a fart. Especially when you get older. You think, I got this. No, you don't. You don't.
So valuable. So valuable. That is such a good...
Also, if you eat a burrito and you go down to the river to fly fish, guaranteed you'll be dropping your waders to drop a deuce. Bring toilet paper.
Yes. Always have the TP.
Wise fishing wisdom from the Canadian Trout Bum.
Boy. Love it.
Nasty stuff. Yeah. I'd use my underwear once. I had to strip right down, take the underwear, and use it for toilet paper.
Yeah,
we walk a shame.
We've had a couple of buddies who have had to strip down and just like bathe in the water because it is so bad. Yeah.
Freaking burritos.
Yeah. Been there.
What else you got, guys?
What is your definition of community?
Well, as you know, I'm not a big people person sort of thing by default. But community, the Instagram community of fly fishing and fly tying, it's the only social media that I do. I'm not on anything else really. And I really enjoy it. And it's when people you've never met make you a priority, whether you're having like a mental break, like I was having, a little while ago, and people, will reach out to you because they know you through the posts and and chatting sort of stuff and messages and stuff like that, and everybody trash talks and shit talks each other sort of thing. But if somebody's hurting, I think when people reach out to you, people on Instagram and the fly fishing, fly tying community are probably better friends than I've had in real life. And, you have that connection of fly tying and fly fishing, of course. But I think a lot of people a lot of guys are open to, talking about mental health and checking in on people. And I think you should check in on people, not just me, but anybody, if their posts are going a little weird or something's off, maybe reach out to them and they may not open up, but it shows you that you care, and you're thinking of them. So, I think community is fly to, it's very important. Yeah. So.
Good. Nice. What's one thing you've changed your mind about lately?
Euro-nymphing is not fishing, not fly fishing. No, it's not. Euro-nymphing. They're bad, evil people, maybe satanic worshipers, and you should steer clear of them.
So you've changed your mind on that? So before you used to be pro Euro-nymph, now you've...
No, I never liked it before either, but now it's far worse.
Then you incorrectly answered the question.
Oh, sorry. Do I lose points?
You do. And that means you get no prizes.
Oh, God damn.
I'm going to disagree. I think you validated you didn't change it, but, well, you kind of did. We can make the argument that, his mind got changed even worse than he thought.
You know what? I blame autism and embrace your mental illness.
That's right. Good.
Fair enough.
It's funny. I just watched a video of Kelly Gallup. He recently got off his winter tour or whatever, and he was like, okay, I need to clarify, I got asked this question, why do I hate Euro-nymphing and blah blah blah, and he was like, I don't hate it, fish however you want to, I could care less, but he's like, But in competition, if you're going to call it a fishing competition,
That's
you
right.
can't include that kind of fishing. Like you have to, he was basically saying like they need to change the whole, don't call yourself a championship, fly fisherman if you can at least fish 4 different ways, right? Dry flies and streamers, nymphs, so he's like goes through this whole thing and he was like, I'm not saying I hate Euro nymphing. I'm just saying don't call that championship fly fishing because it isn't. It was interesting.
For me, for the experience of fly fishing is the casting and it's the presentation. And it's, I could care less if I caught a fish during the day. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, but it's all about perspective, right? For me anyway. And I just enjoy the art, if you want to call it, of, casting a fly and a fly that you tied maybe even, and I just, Euro nymphing, it just seems like, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't care. Like I tried it and it just wasn't for me, but people, they enjoy, they get the hit, of dopamine from seeing the bobber go down, right? With this thing. And I could put Berkeley power bait and get the same dopamine hit, I guess. It's just not as
right. Yeah.
It's just, it's not as, when I get a hit from a dry fly, I know that I presented it in the most purest way possible. And it might sound snobbery or whatever, but for me, that is, the ultimate dry fly fishing.
Yeah. You and AK Best. Yep.
Yeah.
They love, he was a dry fly fanatic. So that's good.
Our last question comes from our previous guest, Doug Oatman.
No, Doug.
And
sorry.
it's a hard one. His question for you is it ever perfect?
What?
Exactly. Therein lies the difficulty of the question.
Is ever perfect?
Is it ever perfect?
Nothing. There's no such thing as perfection. As that goes back to our previous discussions, whether it's a person, no person is perfect. No fly is perfect. No fly cast is perfect. Brad Pitt, fuck you, man. But
shadow casting bullshit.
Bullshit. Shadow cast my ass. But is it ever perfect? No, nothing is ever perfect. And that is the beauty of it because it's kind of like, I like handmade stuff, for example. You can apply this to anything. And I like things that are original. It's got a ding in it. Cool. It's got a rip in it.
Right.
Cool. You know why? Because things that are shot out the back end of a factory are perfect and they all look the same. It's no sterile.
Soul.
It has no soul.
Right.
It's like music, right? Like, we used auto tunes on this. Fuck auto tunes, right? I want to hear Johnny Cash. I want to hear him struggle to get those words out, like the hurt. If anybody out there is watching this, go check out YouTube. I mean, not now. Finish this episode, goddammit. But go check out YouTube for Johnny Cash and Hurt. It's the way you can feel his soul in the words.
Yeah.
And it is so moving. It's like one of the even if you're not a country singer or whatever, I think it's Trent Reznor that originally wrote the song about drug addiction. And but Johnny Cash, he had his own problems with drug addiction. Yep. And this is the final days of his life. And he does this song, and he's playing the piano, and the visuals are amazing. The audio is amazing. It's just an amazing music video of Johnny Cash singing "Hurt" by Trent Reznor, and it's
good,
and it's not perfect, and it's beautiful. And I think that's what humans aren't perfect, and I think that's the beauty part of it, right?
Right on.
That's awesome.
Nice, love it. Good answer.
What's your question for our next guest?
Oh, I got a 3-parter because
it's our first 3-part
first
question.
One, right?
We've had 2-parters. We've never had a 3-parter.
This is a good one.
Look at you taking it up another. You're taking it up another notch, Thomas. You're like
I'm drawing the line. Level. I'm drawing the line. No 4-part questions. So
embrace your mental illness, man. See if I can find this now. Hold on. 3-parter. Okay, here we go. You guys ready at home?
Part 1.
Part 1. How do you deal with mental health as a man?
Okay. Good.
Okay. Part 1.
To further that, do you keep it pushed down deep, or do you deal with it, and how?
Okay.
Also,
Nice.
do you feel the negative stigma of mental health has been lessened over the years in society?
Ooh, good. Okay.
Right?
I love those
Sweet.
questions.
Well,
Good ones.
this reflects on you guys having a focus on mental health, which is it's the reason why I wanted to be on your podcast, because I think more people should deal with that, because we have a real mental health crisis going on, not just with men, but with everybody, even with kids,
Right. Yes.
It's awful.
sure.
So, yeah, the more you talk about it, the better it is for everybody.
Well, I want to thank you for, being as open as you have been on this conversation. And
Autism does that.
I'm not so sure, but we'll go with it. But I do think it's takes a lot of courage to just even say out loud, I'm struggling with something. And our conversations prior to us even pushing record and this conversation, I think, say a lot about you. And I'm just grateful that we got to have this conversation and look forward to fishing together in the future.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, your ownership of yourself is wonderful. It's great, and that's inspirational in and of itself. And so I love that, and can't wait till we get together and can actually hook up and connect on the river.
No,
That's
for
just
sure.
a smallmouth. I mean,
Lots of laughs.
yes,
Lots of laughs.
no PD.
Laughs
Get you
above
some
all
poutine.
else.
Yeah,
Ooh, poutine.
Yeah, that's really good.
Great gravy over fries. I'm in.
Yeah, it's
Sweet.
cheese. Yeah. Mm.
Cheesy.
nice.
Well, is there anything that you want to let the audience know about?
Well, we wanted to do the secret word, and I don't think we did that during the podcast. So I'm gonna have you guys pick a secret word, and the first 5 people that send me a direct message on Instagram, Canadian Trout Bum, I will be sending out a pack of stickers in an envelope per winner. So first 5, you got some stickers coming. I mean, who doesn't want free stickers for fly fishing? It's all the
that's
ones I
easy.
designed.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And some new hologram ones I'll send to you guys too. So send your mailing address.
So we need a secret word.
Yeah, maybe shadow casting or
How about Brookie's rule?
yeah, that'd be good too. What do you think there, Ed?
I mean, I love Brookie's rule.
Okay, then that's it. First 5 people who
Nice.
said Brookie's rule to me will get an envelope of stickers from Canadian Trout Bum. I'll make that
Nice.
happen on my end. Yeah.
You're the best.
Do me a favor, when you post this thing, put a picture of Brad Pitt on part of the thing. So maybe like you
Yes.
and Ed, and then put Brad Pitt and me, right?
Okay.
Shadowcast bastard, right?
Yeah, I'll make it
Shadowcast
look like
mother-
you. It's you two as both co-guests.
Yes. Oh,
That's
hey, I
right.
want to show you guys something. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, this is great TV.
This is safe for video. So this may or may not be a picture of me. Get that?
How'd yeah. You
That's
negotiated by
awesome.
giving him that fish afterwards, I hope.
Well, it was a Photoshop that somebody else had, and I just Photoshopped myself with this huge ungodly beard on there, and it hangs on my wall over there. Right? It's behind
That's
the
that's awesome.
spectacular.
I just thought it was funny. Yeah.
That is spectacular. Nice.
It's good to laugh,
Good
guys.
work.
Always laugh.
It is good to
Absolutely.
laugh.
Well, this has been a hoot, Thomas. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
Right. Anytime. I'd like to do this again if you want me on sometime.
We'd love to. We're also going to start doing some live tying sessions together. So we're definitely going to get you involved.
I'll have to get some more I suck at fly tying stickers made for you guys.
Seriously, just sit around the vise, shoot the shit, and tie some flies. I think that
Yeah.
would be a blast. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
If we screen recorded it, then you could even use it for content on your channel or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
Exactly.
So,
Might even live stream it.
yeah,
that'd be fun.
be
So-
cool. Whatever that means. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Reed's not so sure what that means, but
It's good stuff.
we'll get him there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for
Absolutely.
for having me as a guest. It's a lot of fun.
This has been awesome, Tom. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye, everybody.
I cannot wait to get up and go smallie fishing with Thomas up in Canada.
Smalley and brookie fishing, dude. Let's don't leave that out.
I know. We'll do it all when we come up there, but it'll be fun.
Absolutely. No, that's a great conversation with Thomas. And like I said, I think his authenticity has been through some stuff, as we all have. But coming out on the other side, the way he has, I think is impressive. And his willingness to talk about some of that stuff was really cool. To be able to do that and forge some authenticity behind that and being vulnerable and owning that. That's awesome. That was a really fun conversation with him with that.
No, I think it's impressive to see him, be an example and show that we all go through stuff and that you have to kind of work through it and get out there and get your mind right. So it's important to focus on mental health and your mental wellness.
Right. In that cave he has,
it's pretty cool.
So cool, dude. Yeah, it's impressive the way that thing has turned out and continues to morph.
And if you haven't seen his Instagram, his big giant stuffed bear that he always includes in a lot of his content is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, to see that was pretty cool. That's awesome. So he's created a good space for himself to get through some stuff and do what he loves, creating content and doing that stuff. So it's kudos to Thomas. Good conversation.
Yep, for sure. Well, what are you celebrating today?
I'm celebrating my son. He's in a sports management program in college and recently went to a networking event where he got offered an internship this summer, a 2-week-long internship in Las Vegas. They're flying him out there. They're paying for his lodging. It's a paid internship for him, and it's with USA Boxing, like the Junior National Boxing USA program. He doesn't box or watch anything, but he's getting his feet wet in the industry that he's doing. And I just gotta give him props, dude. He's just making it happen. So like his first internship, well, it's not his first because he did another one, but he's gonna get paid to go to Vegas for 2 weeks, dude, in the middle of summer. I know, right?
That's pretty awesome.
Totally cool. And they fly him out, they put him up, and pretty much he's got to feed himself. So I think he'll be good. So I'm excited for him because he's just making stuff happen for himself. And that's, as a dad, that's what you hope for.
Yeah, so, that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for him. So it's cool. How about you, dude? What are you celebrating?
I am celebrating, even though this comes out the beginning of March, I'm celebrating that I caught my February fish this year.
Boom.
So I was recently out in Colorado, and it was a fun trip. Caught some fish in Rocky Mountain National Park, Clear Creek. Where else did I catch them? Big Thompson. So
nice.
Caught him in a few places. It was a good time. I've never had a ton of success winter fishing, and you will be pleased to learn that I caught one of them on a stimmy in the middle of February. So
yes,
yeah,
yes, that's awesome, dude.
So
was it the stimmy you tied?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Dang it.
So.
That's
people
coming.
should
Don't
know
worry.
though that
That's
I should have also said that I'm celebrating. I did get some fly tying stuff, so we're trending more towards the dark side of
the journey
arts,
begins.
So.
That's right. The journey begins.
And I tied 2 hares ear and a stimmy, all of which may catch fish in really cloudy, dark water or something. We'll see.
Well. Runoff's coming, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
the chocolatey milk streams are coming.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to go fish next to a hatchery and then I'll catch something. But
that's great. That's good.
What are you navigating this week?
Well, part of my navigation is the jealousy I felt when you were here fishing and I wasn't with you because I'm recovering from knee surgery. I had to have a little knee procedure done, and the recovery process is always a navigation. But it's going well. It's fine. It was just a little thing that I had to do, but it's going good. But it's, the patience. I'm an impatient person. I want to get out and fish.
Yeah.
My doc is a fly fisherman, and he's like, no fishing for 6 weeks. I'm like, come on, bro. So my impatience, I'm navigating that. I'm navigating my body being all out of whack, with the anesthesia and all that kind of stuff. It just throws your body into a chaotic mess. And being limited, and having to explain 50,000 times when you see people, what happened? Why are you limping? Oh God. It's laborious. So yeah, just navigating that. I just have to, be steadfast and, being patient, and that's not easy for me. So,
Well, the silver lining is, while you did miss some fish being caught this past week, you will be back in time for the better fishing seasons. So
yes,
there will be lots of fish caught this year.
That's right. The fishing I'm missing is not the good fishing anyway, so I'm all right with it.
Right.
So,
although it was fun pocket water this week, you would have been really enjoyed some of the stuff that I fished. So
you're right on. What are you navigating, brother? I
am navigating. It's kind of my friend's navigation, but I'm navigating, helping a buddy kind of through some mental struggles, some things that I've gone through in the past myself, and just kind of being there as a friend and helping him through that. And I think it's something that I don't want to say I'm enjoying it, but I do think it is good to be there helping out your friends when you can, and being a holding space for them to talk and work through things and things like that. So my navigation is just the helping of a friend and helping them navigate their own navigation. So that's kind of my navigation in a sense.
I love that, man. Walking alongside each other through thick and thin, right? And that's great. I love the fact that you're making space for that, and giving him that support, because we all need it, dude. That's good.
For sure.
Yeah, love it.
I'll need it at some point too, so you got to put the work in when you don't
Absolutely.
need it as much.
That's absolutely right. Good deal, brother.
So, yeah. Well, another great episode.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again soon.
Sounds good, brother. Love you, man.
Love you too, man. See ya.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening. Make sure to visit our website, guysfishingweekend.com, to check out the GFW merch, sign up for our newsletter, and learn how to get involved with the community. We appreciate you spending even a little bit of your week with us, and are glad to have you along on the journey. Stay legendary and happy fishing.